Hi, my name's Prithpal Rihal. I'm from the University of York, United Kingdom, and I'm going to be talking about Bomgar beyond the service desk and our experience of using Bomgar. So, the challenges. As Sarah mentioned in her presentation earlier today, Bomgar has become the product of choice within IT services. But the question remains, how do departments support users and their services? And what I mean by that is IT services use Bomgar, but the university itself have a lot of information system services which are run by small central support teams, and they need support tools themselves. Now, before we use Bomgar, the service that these teams used was very fragmented. They did their own thing. Some departments used our service, which was SMS at the time, some used VNC, and some actually had no support models for the products that they would support our departments with. Also, what we noticed was that it was a culture of bring your own devices happening within departments, and there was no policy behind that. So we would see departments bringing feature-rich devices such as Macs and mobile devices into the university. So the analogy here, left to your own device, is exactly what it was pre-Bomgar. The solution is that we adopted Bomgar, but what we found is Bomgar is more than just screen sharing. And what I've shown here is a graphical representation of what I think and how Bomgar has helped us in our support model for our user base. So on the right hand side we have clients and we have the traditional PC, but now with Bomgar we can also support devices like laptops, mobile phones, tablets, and now also thin clients is what we've adopted at the university. The next thing is virtual desktops. Now this is something that's really quite popular at the University of York, and we've rolled this out as a really good service. And what it does is give us value add and extend our traditional desktop. So what is virtual desktops, or VDI is what I like to call it? It's called virtual desktop infrastructure. And what we do is we virtualize the desktop, host that on a central database within the University Institute, and deliver that to all our user bases on feature-rich devices as I've described previously, so that they can access our applications and our operating systems and get support on those anywhere on the world on any feature-rich device as long as they've got network connectivity. And Bomgar helps us do that, because what Bomgar allows us to do is support the virtual infrastructure that we need to support the users with, as well as support the hardware that we need to connect to. As Sarah mentioned previously in her presentation this morning, we were a Windows-only house. With Bomgar, we've extended that support range that we can now support Linux, Mac OS, Android devices, and whatever is happening in the future, such as HTML5. Now, we're talking about all these new technologies and solutions and services that IT services provide. But what's important is the staff and students' user experience. It has to be key. Because if that's not key, then the users won't use the services that we provide. So we make sure that Bomgar is a tool that's fit for us in terms of delivering a great user experience for our user base. Unlike many IT institutes, we have a first line, second line support system in place, in which we have telephone support and other technologies to support our user base. And obviously Bomgar is key in that particular environment. So that's pretty much standard IT services. But what we found with Bomgar, as I mentioned on the presentation here, it's not just screen sharing. A lot of our information systems have their own teams, as I previously indicated. So what we found is facilities management, which actually look after the entire university infrastructure, from buildings, air conditioning, heating systems, security, CCTVs and whatever. They are now using Bomgar as a way of supporting departments to access those resources within those departments, and also using Bomgar as a training tool. Finance, again, we have a whole load of bespoke and specific finance applications that departments need to use, but those applications have to be supported, and those teams within finance are supporting the departments using Bomgar. Audio-visual, another example of these teams that we have around the university. They have a lot of audio-visual kit dotted around the university, and they need supporting and diagnosing if there's any technical issues. Again, Bomgar seems to be the tool for them, where they can remotely connect to the device, diagnose any issues, and again, these are applications that they need to connect to and then solve the issues with their particular devices. Virtual learning Blackboard, obviously very popular in many educational institutes as a way of delivering content to students anywhere in the world. Now, again, those teams that we have that deliver the virtual learning environment and obviously teach and support Blackboard need to support the user bases within the departments. So academics need to know how to upload content, information, course material, and so on and so forth. The team use Bomgar as a way of training those staff in order to use the application Blackboard. And finally, and again key to many institutes, is we need to get students to come to our institute and study our wonderful degrees and content. So we have student admissions and recruitment services. Again, they have a whole lot of bespoke applications that have to be trained and supported by the departments that use them. And Bomgar seems to be the tool fit for purpose for them. So, as I've mentioned in this kind of graphical representation, we've also extended a feature within Bomgar called the Bomgar button. And we're using that as a promotional piece within the university. The slogan being, if you have a problem, click on the big B. And in our case, Bomgar seems to be the solution fit for purpose. So moving forward, basically Bomgar has become the preferred solution of choice. With the Bomgar button, we find that is a really good seamless solution to adopt, making it easier for our staff and students to get support quickly, easily and efficiently. One thing we've also found, as I showed in the previous presentation, that all these support teams use applications that may or may not come with their own built-in support tools. What we found is Bomgar reduces the support overhead because we found that product seems to fulfill most of the requirements in order to support the user base. So it means we don't have to have another overhead of teaching another support model to different teams within the university. Bomgar also integrates with our new and existing services, so whatever appears in the future that we adopt, like more streaming applications or more virtual application streaming technologies, we hope that Bomgar will be able to support us with that. Key to all this is buy-in from departments. So they know, teams know that are using and supporting this service, that they have a product that they can rely on in order to support their user base. And as we know, the explosion of mobile is becoming more prominent. And what we're hoping is as Bomgar becomes more and more feature rich and is kind of adopting the mobile space, that we can use that product to help us adopt the mobile space.